Hey, we are live with Gamebound, playing some more Legacy Life Among the Ruins today, which I'm very excited for. I watched back through our episodes, I made some notes. We're ready to jump back into this post-apocalyptic world.
Yay.
Yeah, so some things have happened so far, mainly involving a new faction appearing on the map, and there's a whole bunch of stuff kind of in flux because of that. So, what I kind of want to do,
What was the new faction? Did we figure out what that was?
yeah, the ones below is what they're called. The ones below are basically like humans who worship the mold warps and kind of became mole people through weird alien technology.
Right.
Um, so Cinnamon, Alyssa's character, was trying to look for other animal spirits, right, of the fox variety or otherwise, but like something, an actual animal nature spirit sort of thing. And she found basically the subversion of all that she held dear. But being the character she was, she decided to make allies of them instead of making enemies of them, and got them on her side. But her family is divided as to whether or not to accept these things or not. We also have,
Things.
yeah. We also have Jordan's character Mickey, Mickey Clarin, who is a demagogue who is trying to. He just recently got ousted from his family. He's exiled. He's an outsider now, and he's trying to regain power with the Starset Seekers, which is with his faction. And Darren, Seth's new character, which we haven't been able to play yet, is the leader of the Talpavaroi, the mole hunters, the mold warp hunters, and their thing right now is kind of like the ones below were like, we'll join you guys, but we need help like defeating our old gods, right? Like the mold warps must be killed if we are to break free from their chains. And the Talpavaroi, that's kind of their whole jam. So those are
Yeah.
kind of the three things going on right now. What I want to do first is kind of walk through your guys' characters. Um, they each have stuff on them on your sheets that should kind of determine some things about what's happening next. But yes, Jordan, you had a question.
Yes. Are the Talpalvaroi, or however you pronounce? Yeah.
Top Avro,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are they Irish? Because that sounds like an Irish name.
Where did you get that name from? Wasn't it
And
like some word based on underground or digging or something?
I don't remember.
Yeah. I remember if we looked in the chat that Seth and I had a while ago about this game, I bet you'd find some
I've
etymology
got it
talk.
figured out. It has to be Irish because it's underground. And what's in the ground in Ireland? Potatoes.
Oh,
Where's Seth from? Idaho. Potatoes. It all makes sense.
I don't
Yes.
think I don't think it's wait, I'll look
I
it
don't think
up.
it has anything to do with potatoes. It's some like word. It's based on some word that is revolved around what the Tapavaroi do, like with their drill guns or whatever. I can't remember what word we based off of though. But yeah, so let's walk through this real quick. So I have a couple of notes. So Darren, Seth's character,
Mm-hmm.
has his like. So one of the main things we use to kind of make things move forward in these games is looking at characters' roles and saying like, oh, hey, here's a trigger here that is giving us some fiction that we can move forward with. So, for example, Darren's character is a leader, and it says, mark when you take overt control of your family, right? So we know that Darren is the guy in charge of the Talpavaroi right now. But it also says they'll bring concerns to you before opposing you. And there was something else. Oh, yeah. I remember now. The reason I thought I had an idea about what's next for Darren, and I feel like we talk through each of these characters briefly before we actually zoom in on any of them. But for you, Darren, I think it makes sense if, based on what happened last with the ones below, that because you have a move called the Statesman, when you draw on your reputation in someone else's court, roll plus sway, you're good at like going to other people's. You're good at diplomacy, right? You're good at like
Yep.
talking to other factions and stuff. So I figure it might be a good thing to start with Darren, at least, depending on where we go, is to have them like meet up with the ones below and like figure out, okay, what is the situation with the mold warps that you are worshiping? Like, how can we help you defeat them? That sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense to you, Seth. Okay, cool.
Yep.
And then for Cinnamon, we have. So I actually so one of the things about these rolls, right, is you can mark them if like something in the game mechanics lets you mark them, but you can also mark them if you happen to just hit one of the markers, as it says there, from the other side, right? So when you mark one of these, something becomes true about your character, but it can also go the other way. As soon as this thing becomes true about your character, you mark the roll. So for you, Alyssa, I realized Cinnamon is now a rebel. Because it says, mark when you establish contact with a new community. Tell us about their customs and why you love them. The GM will tell you why they're doomed. That is exactly where we are with the ones below right now. Like, right, Cinnamon decided to take pity on these poor, horrible monstrosities instead of kicking them to the curb. And so let's talk about this a little bit, Alyssa, with Cinnamon. It says, right, mark when you establish contact with the new community. We did that last time, so you're a rebel now. Tell us about their customs and why you love them. And I think this makes sense because why it's a rebel, because we know that the faction is now divided, right? Again, common opinion about this faction is divided. We know that Cinnamon is on the side of we should give them a chance. Why is that? Like let's talk a little bit about why Cinnamon has decided to do this. Like where's Cinnamon at right now with all that?
I mean this was so long ago that we played,
Yeah,
but I felt like it was just out of a place of like sheer pity of like these people have been so misled, and like I don't know, I feel like she thought it was like her duty to like save these people, I guess. Like, you know, I mean, especially because like I think she felt like, well, I failed, you know, this. I think she feels a responsibility of like, well, we failed the other spirit animals.
Yeah.
But at least now maybe we can save these things, you know.
And to be fair, I think I described before, right? Like you were looking out for signs of some sort of mole spirit or something, right? Like you were like, there's like badgers or something over here, right? Like there used to be something like that over here. And you kept finding these clues, and it led to these people who were just humans that have been like transformed by technology. But I did describe them as if like I think they did at some point in the distant past, they were influenced by whatever these spirits were, right? The badgers, the moles, or whatever those things were. So there is a piece of these people that want to be those, right? That want to live up to that legacy of those who have gone before them, the spirits that maybe once helped them survive the initial apocalypse or something like that. There might be something there that you could even figure out as Cinnamon, like to see like how much are they connected? Like is this all bad? Or is there some natural thing here that they're striving towards as well? So that makes sense to me. Pity that might turn into something more if Cinnamon can find out, kind of like the origin of all this stuff. But then it says the GM will tell you why they're doomed.
Okay.
I mean, they're doomed because they've developed their whole biology is based on this weird alien technology that's warped them. And like the end game for you guys is to destroy the mold warps and the alien technology and never have it, you know, harm you guys again, especially you guys, right? Like you're very much against that stuff. And like, unless you can find some way to like cure them of this, like leech them of the horrible deformities that have happened to them.
Well, and maybe that's, I feel.
For freezing.
Okay, there we go. Back. So I feel like that's probably Cinnamon's goal, right? Is that I think I mean, just like her people, she's probably like, ooh, these people are like gross. But like, okay, it's my duty to like, if there is some kind of remnant of the badgers or mole spirits, right? It's my duty to like cure them and like show them the way, right?
Yeah. No. But yeah, this is going to be an uphill battle for Cinnamon. So that's kind of where we are with her right now, and I think that it makes sense then that we mark the rebel role, because she's kind of on the outskirts of she's pushing against her family right now a little bit, right? She's showing them a new way. But then as for Mickey, you have a fun thing because we ended up marking outsider as part of, so right, like if a main character isn't part of a scene that we zoom in on, they get a opportunity to do something briefly in the fiction when we zoom out. And we chose for Mickey last time, he became an outsider, right? He kind of like, he tried to gain some power in the Starset Seekers and then got exiled. But it says here, right? Mark when your family betrays your creed. Name a principle. Those who break it in this age risk ruin. And I just want to talk about that. What is Mickey's principle, right? Like, what is the thing that if the other factions, like those who break this principle, risk ruin? What is it about Mickey's? Because this is the thing. You're playing the Firebrand, which is all about normally this would be like sticking it to the man, like revolution, that sort of stuff. You're kind of coming at from like a weird nega version of that, where you're like, you're very, very like destructive demagogue. Yeah, but like even then, you're obviously not in some sense because you're not in charge of the Starset Seekers. So you're like, yeah, you're trying to foment some sort of rebellion. I mean, you're a populist or something like that. What principles does Mickey have?
The principles Mickey has is Mickey is always right. Everybody does what Mickey says. When you go against
that's a perfectly valid principle according to the move here. Yeah. Yeah, so it says when your family betrays your creed because you were in charge and they kicked you out and they're risking ruin by breaking your principle, which is like selfishness, right? Don't cross Mickey. I'm excited to see what that turns into, right? Cool. I mean, you definitely have like a couple of moves here. We could really get into like Mickey, trying to bring down the Starset Seekers and remaking them in his image. That seems like what's on the horizon for Mickey. Cool. Well, I need to check something real quick. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. I'm trying to decide. So I'm trying to figure out where the Guild of Last Days Profiteers, my faction, is with your stuff, particularly Mickey. Right, you were working with them initially. You're trying to sell that prototype mech to them initially. What ended up happening with that? You ended up keeping that, right? No? Yes?
No, it got stolen.
It got stolen.
Oh, I thought it got destroyed. Was it a different mech?
Don't remember.
Thought you just watched this, Caleb.
I did, I know. Alyssa's quick character, who was part of the Talpavaroi, was fighting with Mickey. Yeah, was fighting with Mickey at the end there, and I think was attempting to take.
Yeah, but then another faction came and like killed me.
Yeah, so I think it was the Starset Seekers then. I think that's what it was. It was.
But didn't others... wasn't it that wasn't one of us like about to die and decided to destroy his mech in the process?
I have a feeling that it did get destroyed because the only thing I remember the Starset Seekers getting was the warp metal that Miley failed to take to the Talpavaroi, Alyssa's quick character. So yeah, I think the prototype mech got destroyed. But the Starset Seekers did get a big chunk of warp metal, this like special magical metal or whatever that they can use to do fun things. And I'm just trying to think of who the guild thinks is more profitable to ally with. I think they might be neutral still. I think they might, it would be up to Mickey to get them on his side if he wanted to wrangle them to go against the Starset Seekers. So those are all possibilities of where we could go. I think it might be the most fun to start with Mickey. Because he's probably the character we've been away from the longest. Obviously, like Seth's, we haven't played Seth's character at all, but we've been doing things with Talpavaroi. Specifically, we haven't actually done anything very, strictly Starset Seeker focused yet. We did because the first episode was very Talpavaroi. The second episode was very Clan of the Ancient Mysteries, and I feel like we could at least start with Mickey doing some stuff. Everybody's down with that? All right. I see nods and thumbs up. Let's do it. All right, Jordan. We're in the family mode right now. So let's take a look at the Starset Seekers and see what... Because, even though you're an outsider, right, you still have your family's resources to use. You still play both. and you can still make moves at like being the main character of a faction means you're the one who everything centers around. And so even being an outsider, you're still the one who has like the most influence in the faction right now, for good or for ill. So let's see the family stuff you have going on. I guess let's just talk about what Mickey might be wanting to do right now, like or what the Starset Seekers are interested in general. Either is an option right now. In terms of like the moves you have as the Starset Seekers, you have like a bunch of knowledge about things, but you also have when your family puts together a device powerful enough to shape the local area for generations, say what they wanted to do. We could have you as the Starset Seekers like decide what the family is doing with that warp metal, right? Like what are they up to with that? What are they going to try to build? That could be a place we start with. Or we could just go right to Mickey tries to gain control of the faction or something like that. What do you think?
I think Mickey is trying to organize an uprising.
Yeah.
I think like working towards the secret army.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Basically trying to undermine Starset Seekers, trying to get people to think that they're to blame for everything going wrong, and like, look,
Yeah.
they went behind everybody's backs and stole this stuff, and yada yada.
No, completely leaving out the fact that Mickey went behind everybody's back first.
Yeah, exactly.
An original, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. If that's where we're headed, we can just zoom right in and see what happens. Let's see. So when we zoom in, when you focus on critical scenes where a handful of people might change the course of history over hours or days, say where you are on the map. Where is Mickey trying to do this? We got some places on the map that you could do this at. We could just say you're at the secret research center full of untamed wonders, or the immaculate and neatly ordered halls of quietly humming machines, which I think are the same place, or somewhere else on the map. What do you think?
I think
Like, where would Mickey be attempting to foment rebellion? Or gather allies, or whatever this is going to initially look like.
I assume Mickey probably has a lot of burned bridges in the upper class.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that Mickey would go for like the middle class. Like wherever the middle class,
I'm not sure that exists for the Starset Seekers exactly. Like your faction is specifically demagogues that like rule over a bunch of like mook scientists. So I think it's like you would have to go to the lower class, not middle class, right? Middle class would be like the guilds.
Oh, you know what?
Like,
no, I'm winning over the mook scientists.
Yeah,
because I'm going to try to get them to build my thing.
Sure. Yeah. Because I mean, like even the demagogues can't do anything unless people are listening to them. So you just got to out demagogue them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, demagogue.
So,
the Doomsdale demagogue.
Yeah, I was literally just about to make that reference. Yeah, I mean, I think like we're probably zooming into this secret research center or whatever, right? Because that's like where the Starset Seekers hang out, right? So do you want to tell us about that? Like it says here, right? This place is a secret research center full of untamed wonders, and it also has immaculate and neatly ordered halls of quietly humming machines. Anything else you would like to describe for us about this, like as we are zooming in? Is this underground? Is it like, why is it secret exactly?
And do you get to it through a secret tunnel?
Yeah.
Can I establish the idea of there being cloaking technology?
I mean, I don't know if we've established that in the fiction yet, so we could have you make a roll to do so.
Okay.
I don't know if like you can always describe things being secret, but I'm not sure like
Okay,
because
actually,
it's not within the like technology we've already established, we'd have to like roll separately for that probably.
I think what it is it's secret because it's disguised as like an old, rundown, um, like unkempt, uh, like just totally trashed warehouse.
Mm.
Um, Something that
Sure.
like used to be great and big and glorious, but on the outside it looks like it's just totally trashed.
Mhm.
Um, and upon entry and first glance, it's like, oh, this is totally trashed. But then there's obviously a secret elevator
Yeah, yeah.
that is not keen to the squatters.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, so I think we've established that the world was kind of like an industrial era when the apocalypse happened. It sounds like secret underground laboratory with an elevator is a little bit beyond industrial era. So like I assume this was some site of alien technology that you've like made into this or something, or at the very least you took alien technology and made this with it. Like how did that happen?
Well, I mean, it started as just an abandoned,
Just an
destroyed
abandoned warehouse.
facility.
Yeah,
Yeah, just an abandoned warehouse, and from there, like over time, this facility was developed
sure.
a sort
Cool.
of secret society of secretness.
Mhm, mhm. Sounds good.
Something that
Um,
honestly, the Starset Seekers are probably trying to um, build the same like build publicly what exists here privately, which is probably what they're.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
So like I assume this facility, right, this underground
Mhm.
secret facility, I assume that this is like um it's taking alien tech and trying to utilize it in like really like advanced techy ways,
Yeah.
and it's all privately funded and privately and secretly run and coordinated, um, where nobody really knows about it except those that are in the know.
Mhm.
And if you're in the know and you're not supposed to be in the know, then no one will know who you are anymore,
Mm.
kind of thing.
Okay.
But the Starset Seekers, I assume, don't know about this.
I think they do. Like, I think one of these options that we chose is your haven that you chose, which is like the place where you can be safe. Um, so from my understanding, this is where the Starset Seekers do their stuff, and
I see.
Mickey's been ousted from that place.
I see. Okay.
So like you probably know a way to get in or something, right? Like,
Okay. Yeah.
it's not like you're but like in terms of power and influence, like you officially have none. And this would be like Mickey kind of going amongst the scientists or having secret deals with them, talking with them, during weird hours or in a
Yeah.
secret place within this facility or something like that, and trying to foment rebellion. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we already know what you're present to do. And yeah, we've already described some details and asked questions about it. Other players may create or pick up quick characters to fill out the party, unless you think one of your main characters would be here. But I don't think either of the main characters
No.
would be in this situation. But so you're welcome to do quick characters, or we can, have Jordan be solo here. Up to you guys. Um, whatever makes sense.
Yeah,
Truly does not matter to
Up to
me.
you.
do we just click new character plus a character? Because
Yeah, be a quick character. Let me real quick duplicate this last one
Okay.
again, so we have two. Duplicate it twice. All right. So one of you do quick character 4, and the other do copy of quick character 4.
I'll do the copy.
Cool.
Did you make a copy of the copy?
Yeah, so these are probably Starset Seekers we're talking about right now, right? You could either be playing someone against Mickey or for Mickey or undecided. And based on how Mickey's roll goes at the beginning here, it'll determine how this shakes out. We could also just make that roll first and see how it goes, and then see who you want to be at that point. As you guys are building these characters, we can probably just make the roll either way.
Yeah, doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. All right. So Mickey, you're trying to what? Find a dark secret of an authority figure and reveal it to the world, or spend a few days training rebels? Or both?
I mean, I kind of want to use one to do the other.
Yeah. So which one's first?
I'm going to train the rebels first, and then I'm going to use that to try to get the dark secret.
Oh, I don't know if we did this, Mickey. When you mark a roll, raise a stat by 1 or get a new move. This is for you too, Cinnamon. So you can raise a stat by 1 or get a new move, because you've both marked new rolls. So yeah.
Sorry,
if one of those,
say that again?
Yeah, so every time you mark a new roll on your character sheet, you can raise a stat by 1 or get a new move from the list you have there.
Oh, okay.
And then also each of your factions should have inheritance moves on your family playbook that you can also take as a move if you'd like.
Instead of the stat roll?
Instead of one of the normal, normal
I see.
moves.
Okay.
So any of those are options. Yeah, so if there's another move on here that you think would be helpful for what you're about to do, you can take that as well.
I suppose Cinnamon, I debate if I just want to add steal or not get a minus to sway. I don't know for Cinnamon.
Yeah.
What does steal do again?
Steal is for like traversing the wasteland and stuff, like exploring.
Well, I guess if she's gonna work with these people, she's gonna have to do that a lot. So maybe she's just gonna add something into steal.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 3 is the highest you can have, but yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's fine. She's just gonna be really good at that then. Okay, I have no idea. So what are the stats for this
Quick
faction?
characters?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for the faction. So the Starset Seekers get to add 1 to Steal or Lore, yeah. And then each of you can pick one of those inheritance moves on the Starset Seekers list, which is at the bottom, their family playbook.
Where do we put the move again? Over there, just now. I see. Now.
Yeah. Yeah, Jordan, did you have an idea of what Mickey was gonna add?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Mickey's gonna take Words of Revolution.
Yeah, there you go. When you seek out the troubles of the oppressed and disenfranchised, roll plus sway. Nice. That's probably is the first place you start, right?
Yeah.
Is that one? Yeah. Let's do it. Do you want to describe this for us? What does it look like when Mickey does this?
I think Mickey looks around.
What is the montage we're getting, right?
Well, Mickey is looking for like really disgruntled employees.
Yeah.
And like people who look like they're having a really crappy day. Yeah. And like kind of follows behind them a little bit and like sits in, whatever the equivalent of a coffee shop would be in this world. Like sits near them and like
lounge or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and just like listens around for people who are either not being treated well or just having a crappy day, or even if it's like people who are outright jerks and people like anybody who's genuinely down and out, but also anybody who seems like they would think
they could be twisted around your finger and
basically
the disgruntled, maybe not for good reason, but for reasons you could exploit anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Cool. So we see a montage of this happening. Go ahead and roll plus sway, and we'll see how it starts. Because if you just fail this miserably, then we're starting off real well.
Oh, I just what am I rolling here?
Sway. Oh yeah, it just should be standard. Yeah.
Standard. No modifiers.
Nope.
Roll bad.
All right, partial success.
Well.
All right, so on a hit, you learn 1. A secret weakness of the authorities, how to move through the area quickly and unseen, the method the authorities use to maintain their control. Which one of those would you like? If you don't choose how to move through the area quickly and unseen, you're going to have to make some sort of roll here to remain hidden, remain unseen during this process.
I don't think Mickey is particularly great about being unseen. So
Yeah, so a secret weakness of the authorities or the method the authorities use to
thinking-
maintain their control?
I'm thinking the method the authorities use to maintain their control,
Mhm.
so that way Mickey himself could do it.
Right.
It's like, oh,
Yeah, I
that's
mean-
all I have to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of like having the warp metal, right? Like being able to have the resources necessary to be in charge, to have stuff like to actually fulfill your guys' dreams of like things you want to make.
Yeah.
As the Starset Seekers, but it's also just like being the biggest jerks in the room, right? Like just being able to push people around. Like I think where Mickey probably went wrong is he didn't have enough allies. This is a coalition of bullies that you're against. It's just you though on the other side. So I think the method the authorities use to maintain their control is outnumbering you. So the thing you think of is I need allies, right? I need other people besides just me and my like whatever followers exist.
Yeah.
As an outsider, right? Because I mean, according to the rules, Mickey has no one except for like the 5 scholars he can summon up when he zooms in. Which is, I guess, that's the thing we should have done too. But I assume you're just probably. Yeah. Actually, we should do that now. I forgot to do this. So when we zoom in, you get to choose which gear options you want from your faction. During this sequence, Do you have your diesel mech with you? I assume you probably don't in this scene.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably not.
Do you have your bulky hazmat suit?
I feel like everybody in the society does.
Yeah, it just walks around in hazmat suits all the time. Yeah, I think so. But then I assume you're going to have your scholars with you. That's the useful expertise you can draw on. So they have a quality of 1 and they're good at researching things.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, there it is.
And then Starset Seekers have engineering, progress, and technically warp metal, but I guess you don't have access to that really. This other rogue faction does. So for each of those surpluses, you can like choose an option. It can just be like adding tags to things. One of them could be adding quality, make your scholars better. I believe. Let me check. Yeah. Add a tag to a piece of gear. Get as many copies of a weapon, outfit, or vehicle as needed to outfit the whole party. Add 1 to the quality of a set of followers for this mission. Get 1 data. What would you like to add?
Add 1 of the quality of scholars.
Makes sense. Scholars are better. Do you want to just give them all hazmat suits as well?
Yeah.
I think normally they don't just like automatically get all the gear that you would as a main character.
Right.
But you can make it so that they do have it by choosing that option. Cool. Makes sense. So what were we just talking about? Yeah. So you need more people than just those scholars to be able to do something. So you could, I mean, you have a move for this, right? As we described earlier, Mickey can do the secret army. Would you like to do so?
Yep.
Well,
do
first,
that.
actually, let's have you diffuse with I don't know, whatever you would defeat. How is Mickey staying unmolested while he does this? Like, why aren't people stopping you from talking to their employees?
I'm gonna say force because I just imagine he's so forceful in personality.
Mm.
Like he's just like, and they're like working in retail. There's that one person you just don't want to like. You don't want to talk to them. You don't want to mess with them. You just kind
You're
of
being a Karen.
I am
Yeah.
being the King Karen right now.
King Karen. Yeah. Okay. So force is normally like just attacking people. I think this
So would
is
it be
sway.
steal?
I think it's just sway, right? Like you're being intimidating. It's still talking though,
Okay.
right? You're just good at being a bully. Yeah, go ahead and roll that. Roll sway.
Oh my gosh! Stop doing well.
Another partial. Okay. So I believe on this one, character moves. It says oh, sorry. Intimidation or physical exertion is force. So I mean, it would have been the same roll for you, but yeah, it's still a +1. But cool. On a 7 and 9, you've bought some time, but choose one. There's a cost to securing safety. The danger will soon return, or the danger is still present but threatening someone or something else. The danger here being, the Starset Seekers noticing this and trying to stop you. So is there a cost? Is it temporary relief that you're getting with this roll, or is it threatening someone else? In which case, I think the only someone else it could be is just your scholars, right? You just throw them under the bus.
Yeah. I'll go with temporary because it doesn't need to be permanent.
Yeah. So like they know you're doing this and they're starting to like figure out a way to stop you, but you're doing it quick enough that they haven't been able to do it yet. Okay. Yeah, so when you spend a few days training rebels in an area where you don't have any followers, you gain followers of quality 1 with 1 specialty. I think if you decide to do this, Mickey, that will be all the time you have, right? The danger will descend as soon as you finish this move. Would you still like to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. What's their specialty? Spying, rioting, sabotage, or carrying messages?
Sabotage.
Sabotage. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so this is like and this could be where Seth and or Alyssa's character come in, right? Like where it's a saboteur or someone who's in charge of this band, depending on what they want to do.
I was kind of waiting for the roles to be over before I made the characters. So.
Yeah, and I mean I think we're about to get to like a even further zooming in where we like play out moment by moment. So let's see, you don't have any tech. So yeah, they won't leave the area and will go back to their lives once the local authorities have been overthrown. So yeah, what's your idea here? So Mickey is the danger's about to descend on Mickey, but what is Mickey's actual plan with these saboteurs? Right? What do you want them to do? Why did you train them?
So
what are they sabotaging?
I think they're sabotaging I'm thinking it's either A, their ability to track Mickey, or it's like they're sabotage. They're sabotaging something that's going to make them that's going to make the Starset Seekers in the public eye look not great.
Sabotaging their reputation.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's make the quick characters now, right? Let's figure out what Seth and Alyssa want to play in this conflict, because what's going to happen, right? Is Mickey's going to try to send his saboteurs to do their thing, and the Starset Seekers are going to retaliate with whatever their danger is that they're going to give you, right? For once they've gathered their forces and have figured out what their response to you doing this is, they're going to hit you about the same time this is happening, and so We can make quick characters now, figure out which side of this conflict Seth and or Alyssa want to be on, and then go from there, kind of in moment-to-moment stuff.
So sorry, Jordan's family is the Starset Seekers, or
Yes, so you're going to be a Starset Seeker no matter what. It's
Okay.
just, are you a
What side
Starset
of
Seeker
this-
who's on Mickey's side or on the like kind of Council of Demagogues side that is currently running the family?
Are you going to be
I
on
don't-
the anti-hero's side, or are you going to be on the villain's side? You get to decide which is which.
Yeah,
I
there are
don't
no heroes
know.
here, but
Yeah, I don't know. Both are interesting to say the least. I kind of want to be on Jordan's side, not gonna lie.
yeah. Yeah, so are you like a saboteur, or the two types of people that Mickey has been able to get to his side are scholars and saboteurs, but you could technically be a third type of person if you wanted to be an outlier who's decided to join.
Maybe she's a spy. or
Yeah, I mean,
something.
you could be whatever, but like those are the two ones we know for sure. The two groups of people that are joining Mickey. Yes, his
So
scholars and his saboteurs.
What exactly is the goal of these saboteurs again? Their goal is to like
They're ruining
basic-
their reputation.
Yeah, like do something to ruin the reputation of the demagogues who are in charge right now, who are against Mickey. For who? Just like the Starset, among the Starset Seekers, like the random moves
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
Starset Seekers.
yeah.
Okay.
Mickey's goal in all of this is to get more and more people to defect from the Starset Seekers not authority. What's the word I'm looking for? Loyalty, from trying to defect from loyalty to the Starset Seekers, so he can gain them as loyal to himself, or really to like loyal to from the other demagogues to loyal to
Yeah,
himself.
so Jordan, I actually think you're doing spies here. Because sabotage is like literally like, breaking things or whatever. I think because you have the move Iconoclast, I think what you're doing is you're getting these people to find a dark secret of the demagogues, which you will then use to expose them, right? Like that's if we're trying to go for reputation here as the damage that you're doing. I think
Yeah.
that's probably the order of things that should happen.
Okay,
That makes sense to you?
yeah, makes sense to me.
Because like your move is when you find a dark secret of an authority figure and reveal it to the world, it's just as soon as you have one, then you can do this. And so it makes sense that like what they're doing, your new followers, is finding what that secret is that you can use to destroy their reputation.
Right.
Yeah. So Seth, Alyssa, which side do you want to be on?
well, I think I'm going to be on Jordan's side. I'm just debating if I want to be a saboteur or. I mean, it sounds like his saboteurs are scholars, though, because if they're trying to find secrets.
Yeah, the difference would be like being like a spy, basically, or being a person who's in charge of research. Those are the two skill sets that Jordan's people have managed to have.
Okay, well,
Both are getting information, but one is a little bit more clandestine than the other.
Okay, so I'm assuming I am a rebel, like as my role. Correct?
Probably, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I guess to make things interesting, I'm guessing I picked prophet just because I don't know.
Yeah, what is the prophet?
Actually, wait. No, I'll pick agent. That makes more sense given what I did. My idea is like because I picked the other move of survey drone, and I put a lot in lore and not a lot in steel. So the idea of like I'm a what's the word I'm looking for? Scout.
You can certainly do that if you want to, but I'll warn you right now, this entire thing is probably going to happen underground in this secret facility. So there's not going to be a whole lot of wasteland survival being rolled.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll go back to being a prophet. And I got to pick another move.
I'm not sure what I need to. I'll get one of your family's inheritance move. I need to look at.
Yeah, it's on the Starset Seekers family playbook at the bottom of the list.
I'll pick radio rig.
Nice. You can sense when tech is within a mile and track it down within 100 meters. That's cool.
Oh wait, no, sorry, wrong one. Pain box. That's what I meant.
You have a device that causes intense pain in anyone within a few dozen meters. A melee non-lethal area apparent. Nice.
Makes sense
and
for
then
someone who's saying
you guys can
prophet.
choose which one of those assets you guys want, right? Do you want a diesel mech, bulky hazmat suit, scholars that come with you? Any of those are options for you.
I guess
scholars.
I'll pick.
You can hit any or all. Like you can do all three if you want.
Oh.
I guess I'll do educated, right? I mean, basically, like Mickey could ask for my, it's basically like the first time you give advice to somebody based on your knowledge of the before, they grant fleeting advantage acting on it.
Nice. Cool.
So,
you're a scholar?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. All right.
Gear. What kind of gear do I get?
So diesel mech, bulky hazmat suit, and scholars are all options for gear, for assets. If you look right above the inheritance moves on the Starset Seekers,
yeah, I see
playbook,
it.
Yeah, you can get any or all of those.
Oh, okay. I mean, why not all of it?
Yeah, I mean, if the diesel mechs start coming out in the middle of this, there's going to be like a very, very destructive battle happening underground here. But it might happen. We'll see.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a diesel mech and then some scholars. Like, I guess I've got some scholars under me.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
you have sub scholars? Yeah, like Jordan has his own scholars, and you have your own scholars that you brought with you. Yeah. So, Seth, are you a prophet then, or an agent?
Yeah, prophet.
Prophet. So, in terms of, so it says like when someone acts in a way contrary to your family's doctrine, ask the GM how it will bring them ill fortune. So, the Starset Seekers doctrine right now is uplifting mankind's remnants, which I think makes sense. Like, it does seem like, at least from your perspective, Mickey would be against that. So whenever he acts against that idea of being the people who uplift mankind. You can do that move. Cool. All right. I see. Dr. Grant, Seth.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Sorry, my mind's a bit
no.
right now.
No, it's awesome. I am actually liking that. You're probably all doctors, right? Like, you're Cato.
I am such a doctor.
All right, cool. So we zoom in on probably a meeting that actually let's do this. So Seth, your character is standing in a kind of like office of one of the main demagogues who's against Jordan's character, right? So this is probably a middle-aged man, tall, lanky, dark graying hair, and he has he's, everybody's kind of wearing like techie kind of lab coat sort of stuff. But he's basically telling you like, we've been hearing that Mickey is gathering support among the ranks. We're not entirely sure how he's gotten in or stayed in. We thought we blocked off the exits, but he's been able to bully his way past some of the more impressionable employees, more impressionable scientists. We need you to take whatever steps necessary to get him out of the facility for good. Block his way out. Make sure that anyone who's still following him is exiled from the facility permanently. I'm counting on you, Dr. Grant, to fulfill this assignment. Can you do this?
Yeah,
what does Dr. Grant looks like?
Well, let's just go with Dr. Grant from Jurassic Park because my mind's a little
I love it.
Distracted right now. He would just say, "It will be done." And would I be able to use the prophet move now since he's acting contrary to the family's doctrine?
Yeah, what does it say again?
Ask the GM, when someone acts in a way contrary to your family's doctrine, him breaking in, we told him not to, asks the GM how it'll bring them ill fortune when you act on this information, roll with advantage.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. It'll probably bring him ill fortune because, I mean, this is a very high-tech facility. Like it's not actually, if you manage to get to the right computers, it's not going to be that hard to like lock him in here. Here, let's put it this way. There are lots of places where someone like Mickey could be trapped in this underground facility, right? And going around here, trying to foment rebellion, doing whatever he's doing, there are many places where an ambush might happen. Whether or not it's violent, like it could literally be as simple as he goes into a room he shouldn't, and you can lock all the doors or something like that, right? That's the ill fortune he's bringing upon him is vulnerability to ambush. So when you act on that information, you can roll with advantage.
Real quick question. I guess I didn't think of this through. Lore is more of a lore. What exactly
lore is like
lore
knowledge? Yeah. So in terms of let's see, the main move that you would do with lore besides like diffuse is unleash power. So it's like when you find the device, the GM gives you a few clues on what it can do. When you use the device, say a thing you want it to do, and based on the clues, you roll plus lore. So if you like found like a cool mech somewhere in the facility while we were doing this session, and you wanted to jump in it and do something with it, you could do that.
But I guess my question was could I use my lore knowing that the best way to get him is the best way to end this is to trap him? Could I use lore to figure out where to best trap him?
Yes, I believe so, because it's also like what is that? Unearthed forgotten lore, which is like uncovering like information about a place. That's certainly something you could do. And then also just diffusing with lore is an option here, right? When you're trying to de-escalate a tense situation, whatever tense situation it is, with improvised technology or remembered information, you rolled plus lore. So I mean, trying to trap him in a place itself is going to be probably a lore roll.
Okay, so can I do that to figure out the best way to trap him with this then?
Yeah, let's start with Unearthed Forgotten Lore then. Right, you're just trying to what do we know about this facility is like the kind of roll you're making.
And I just roll lore?
Yep.
And what's the roll? Standard?
Yeah, it's just standard. You don't have advantage or disadvantage.
No modifiers.
It was developed by cats.
Nice. It's a 10 plus. Yeah, so you get 1 data, which you can use to if you spend it, you get advantage on a roll.
Where do I put data again? Oh wait, what does advantage do again?
Oh yeah, advantage. Sorry, you probably would have had advantage on that roll. But
yeah, I did.
Didn't need it because you already got a 10, which is the highest. But that's basically rolling 3d6 and taking the highest 2.
And where do I put data?
So it's actually you're giving this to the Starset Seekers themselves. So technically, it's a thing that also Jordan can use, but in theory, you can use it first. So I'll just put it in there for him. But yes, and then in terms of the move itself, right? So it says you can ask 3 of the 4 questions that it lists in Unearthed Forgotten Lore. It's in the character moves, peripheral moves under that. It's in that handout on the bottom.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So this would be like the facility you're in, the home base of the Starset Seekers. You can ask 3 of those 4 questions.
I'm trying to think. Oh, so it's about the place.
Yeah.
So obviously, first one, how can I turn it to my advantage?
Yeah, I mean, as we said before, there's all sorts of like twists and turns and hidden places that you might get him trapped. He's probably hiding in one of those right now. That's likely the case. There's probably like strange, or not strange, but obscure, hidden kind of rooms in the recesses of the place that could be locked down or whatever. In like specifically how you can turn it to your advantage, since you like got more information with this roll, probably would be let's see, getting I think because you can also ask like where is it drawing power from. I think this roll is, some of these questions don't make as much sense since this is like your facility. I think this roll basically means you know exactly where he is. Like, where is it drawing power from? It's the idea that you're able to track down the power signals that are going to where Jordan, like the stuff he's tapping into to do the stuff he needs to do. You're able to trace all of that, and basically right now he's sending out people. You see like a bunch of blips on the map, right? Heading out to do something. So you're aware of like their locations and have access to the system by which you can trap one or both of those groups. Up to you how you want to do it. You can tell probably. I assume Mickey's gonna like stay behind, right, while his spies go and do this. Jordan,
I would probably send my scholars out to kind of go. What's the term? Not flank them, but come from behind.
Intercept them.
Intercept them. No, not even intercept them, but like block off their exit routes essentially.
Sure. Block off. So this is what we see, right? We see these kind of back rooms, and you see some blips. So it's like Alyssa's character and the other like spies or whatever, right? Like whoever's going on this like mission. Leaving this kind of back room that Mickey's been hiding out in. You see them moving off, and then Mickey and his scholars staying in that room. Which group are you trying to block off with your men?
I mean, I figured we would try and block off as many as we can. We're essentially trying to block all the exits, both Mickey and everyone else's. So we're trying to get them so they're surrounded, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're already moving. I think you'll have to choose one, at least with the men that you have at your disposal right now. You want
probably try and block off everyone but Mickey then, because there's probably more of those.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Try to stop whatever thing they're doing. Right. If they're sending these people out. Okay, we got to intercept that. Cool. Yeah. Let's go to Alyssa and Mickey then. So, Kato, is that how it's pronounced, Alyssa? Cool.
Yeah.
What's Kato look like?
That's a great question. Kato is squinting.
Mm-hmm.
Squinting eyes. Bony. And I think I feel like I'm probably related to you in some way, Mickey. That's probably why I support you in some way, right? Like maybe like a distant cousin or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. But
Mickey's
I'm like
great aunt.
But I'm kind of like maybe the more of a pushover too, right? Like, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that sounds
Mickey's
good.
able to bully you around pretty easily,
right,
yeah.
exactly. But I like, try to give my and I think I'm also, my face is worried all the time.
Nice. Yeah, so is Kato being sent on this mission, Jordan, with the spies, or is Kato staying with you? Right, because you can obviously change this, but I was under the impression that Mickey is kind of staying put in his like space he's hollowed out at the edge of this facility, waiting for the moment to strike, and sending his spies out to go find out some bad information on one of the demagogues so he can use it to his advantage. Where would you want Kato in that?
Probably doing the same.
Yeah, it makes sense to me that Kato would be kind of like in charge of the little rebel squad you're sending out.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have any words of wisdom to impart to Kato before she heads out?
Don't get caught!
Oh, okay, I'll try. I'm sorry. I'll do my best.
Yeah. And like everyone here is a Starset Seeker, right? So it's like you're not trying to like necessarily sneak through the hallways or anything. You're just kind of walking like as if you're supposed to be somewhere doing something, right? Oh yeah, we got to go fix the mechs in this quadrant or whatever, right?
Yeah, no worries.
Exactly. But yeah, I think probably what we see first is Kato and the others are heading out to go do that. I think, yeah, they've gotten halfway there. I don't know if we have to roll anything yet for them. They're just kind of on their way to go do the thing. I guess you tell us, Kato, what was your plan to do what Mickey wanted you to do? Because like you could do some like classic actual spying, but you could also just like hack into a computer.
Right.
You'd probably be better at the latter.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Actually, sorry, I'm like changing around my stats just like a little bit here. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I mean, I'm assuming we're spies. We're not necessarily. Is it assumed that like we're all associated with Mickey at this point, or are we still
Yes.
semi like
So
underground?
Jordan rolled a move to gather you as like people that were on his side who had a particular specialty. So this was like him literally gathering people who were good at sussing out information, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess yeah, I suppose like our idea, right, was that we would kind of like try to just like sneakily like pass through and gain some information through a back end
Yeah,
some way.
yeah. Yeah, I think we see probably, the group of you walking down a hallway and then going through a door into a big kind of like hangar bay looking thing, right? There's a bunch of mechs lining. We see they're all quietly humming, right? In their stalls here. And
I just imagine they're all like
Pay no attention to us.
like literally like humming like melodically.
Yes. I get the joke you're making. But yeah, I mean we see basically just like a big mech hangar bay thing, right? And Kato and the other like spies kind of like they're just like walking into this space as if they're meant to be here. A couple of them go over to one of the mechs and starts inspecting it, and we see Kato and like a couple of other of these fellows go into kind of like a side office. So there's like a room inside this larger hangar bay, and you press use your key card, get inside this like little office space, and sit down at a computer and start typing away, right? Start doing some hacking stuff. But you don't get very far before Grant and whoever he's brought with him have showed up into this space. And you know that like these people came from Mickey's room. You don't necessarily know more than that. So how would Grant be approaching this? Are all of his followers in their mechs right now, just walking through, or?
I mean, if they have enough room, probably. They're expecting insurrection.
Okay, yeah. So we just see like this is a larger hangar bay, right? And a kind of like dividing metal wall or metal door between like hangar door style thing between two sections of the larger hangar opens, and we see these like diesel mechs, right, start to walk through, and a couple of the people who are next to like pretend inspecting one of the mechs in your section, Kato, just look up and see this. And I don't think any of you are expecting to try to like do violence or anything. So they probably just at first ignore the group of you, Grant, as you walk through. What these people are just kind of like pretending to work on a mech. What are you doing?
Who are you talking to? Me?
Yeah, you, Seth. Yeah, Grant.
They're probably just approaching them.
Yeah, just
like maybe they think they're gonna pass by them, but then they're like, all of a sudden they're just right there.
Yep, they're just like towering over them in their mechs. And this random like NPC, right? This scientist woman, like looks up and then says, "Oh, hi there, Dr. Grant. Yes, can we help you? I didn't realize anyone was being sent out on a mission." Referring to like you guys, all your mechs.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
You
need a tune-up?
What are you doing?
Well, and like you can see Kato, like you're seeing this through like you can't hear the conversation because you're like kind of in like this isolated office room, but you can see through like the plexiglass that's looking out on the hangar bay, like the scientists like looking, and then you can see them glancing over to you, right? They're like giving you the eyes,
help
like
us.
help. Yeah.
Bye. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, you can just leave them to die and keep doing what you're doing, but
yeah. So I was thinking, I don't know if I can use my rebel move or not, but it says when you break your family's code, roll plus steal. On a hit, they have higher priorities than punishing you. On a 10 plus,
Ooh.
get fleeting advantage when you socialize with their rivals or enemies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that might be relevant. I don't know if it's
I was thinking of like trying to lie and say something like, "What are you doing? Like talking to us? Like there are literally like things outside there trying to kill us. Like we're not doing any harm. We're just, we're just in here doing our thing. Like, what do you mean? We're just gathering information. We're scholars. That's what we do."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would depend on, because I think the implication of that move is that you're not intentionally trying to break the code per se, but it's just whenever you happen to do so, you get to roll, and if you roll well, they don't punish you for it, right?
Okay.
Which it's definitely going to come up in this sequence. I'm just trying to think of where exactly. So I think you have two choices right now, and it's, you can like step out and just talk to Grant. I don't know if you'd be triggering the rebel move yet, but you could do that, and start that sequence of it. Or you could just, I guess you could also contact Mickey, and try to ask him what he wants you to do. Or you could just keep typing away at the computer, right?
I'm just debating if I just like let this poor scholar just like flounder while I like try to like hack into this computer.
Yeah, because I mean, Grant hasn't necessarily noticed you yet. Like these are the two obvious people out here, like working on the mechs. So
yeah.
it's probably gonna interrogate them for a second.
I feel like I'm kind of a coward. I'm just gonna keep, going.
Okay. Yeah, let's just have you make that roll, right? Like, actually, let's see. I'm trying to think.
That be?
Let's have you make a roll. You're just trying to do this quickly, right? Like you're using whatever brief moment of distraction they're offering you outside to just do this really, really quickly and get through it. Let's have you roll plus steal.
Okay.
To diffuse, right?
Standard, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is not good.
That's a miss. Yeah. So not only do you like not get it done in time, you go too fast and aren't careful and set off an alarm, right? You go into a subsystem you weren't supposed to, and immediately, Grant, you're notified on like your compad or whatever, right? Like there's someone directly in that office right over there, right? Who's like trying to hack into sensitive information.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, how do you handle that in the moment?
Grant would start making his way to the room.
Okay, you're not just gonna shoot a rocket immediately. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No. Not because like, you said like it's through like a window or something.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a little a room inside of a room, right? Like there's like this kind of square box that has like plexiglass and metal protecting it inside this larger hangar area that has computers and stuff in it. It's like a little control room.
And make their way to the room. Explosions are going to cause more damage.
Yeah. So the alarm goes off, Kato, and you see the mechs just come towards you. What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Make a break for it.
Remember Mickey's words of wisdom to you.
Which is
Don't
get it done.
Caught.
Don't get caught.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like at this point my rebel move could possibly kick in, right? I mean, I've definitely gone against my family's code. Now,
yes,
in,
right?
right?
I think where that's gonna come in is if you get brought before the demagogues, right? If they're gonna decide, because this is about you particularly, it's not like Mickey's cause, right? It's like, do you get thrown in jail?
Right.
This is your fail safe if things go wrong.
But I think she fears Mickey more than getting, and she doesn't want to get caught. So I think she's going to try to escape first.
Okay. Just rush out of the room and go.
I have a diesel mech, technically.
Yeah, just like rush out and like get into yours as quickly as possible.
Could I hide in one, I guess?
Yes. I mean, the issue is Grant knows you're in here. you would have to find some way to. I mean, the easiest way is going to be to like throw your other friends under the bus and have them deal with it and then run off and hide somewhere. But if you don't do that, you're going to have to probably run across like an empty space to get to a mech, right?
Hi.
Yeah. So you like either quickness or I mean, you could like hide under the desk here if you really cared to like be hidden, but
yeah. I mean, how many of them are in the room with me right now? I have like a couple.
So you have like 5 to 10 scholars with your
in this room with me.
You have 5 to 10 spies and 5 to 10 scholars that you could have anywhere in this scene. I assume the spies are probably in with you, and maybe the scholars were outside pretending to work on the mechs.
Okay.
You had like a team of like 10 people that you could have brought with you, I suppose.
I wonder if Kato's just gonna be like, every man for themselves, and just duck under the table. Like I don't, right? Like I don't.
That's totally an option, right?
I think so. I feel like that's what she'd do. She's a coward.
Yeah, let's roll the rebel move, right? Because I think that's what you're doing. You're just like every man for himself. Screw humanity. I'm caring for myself. And if you roll high, you escape, right? Like.
Okay.
So what does rebel tell you to roll?
Well, it tells me to roll steal.
Yeah. Okay. Go for it.
Okay. I'm assuming this is like, okay, roll type standard. No modifiers.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Partial success.
What does partial say for you on that?
No, it just says on a hit.
All right. On a hit, they have higher priorities than punishing you. On a 10+, you get fleeting advantage. Okay, so you don't get the fleeting advantage, but they have higher priorities than punishing you. I don't know. What does that mean for you, Grant?
Maybe I see other people leaving the room and go after them instead.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Every man for himself. You fake them out somehow, probably Kato, into like you're like every man for himself, like run for it, and they run out, making prime targets, and you just duck under the desk, and right. So all Grant sees is the people running, doesn't know that there was someone who stayed inside.
Right.
And yeah, we just see Grant with his mechs. I don't think any of them put up a fight, right? You just round up all of your the spies and the scholars that you brought with you, Kato, and brings them. Are you just gonna like bring them to the demagogues, like for punishment? What are you doing with them, Grant?
Yeah, bring them in for questioning.
Yeah, we just see them all like with zip ties, like walking ahead of the mechs as the mechs are pointing their guns at them, like keep going, and they walk away, and I think the door closes. Right, the little big hangar bay that was like separating closes, and you're left alone in the room, Kato. What do you do then? Do you run back to Mickey? Do you try again?
I don't know how I'm gonna get out of here, and I feel like I can't go back to Mickey unless I get something, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like at this point she'd be like,
yeah, I mean, at any point you could.
Hi, baby. It's William's weekly appearance.
William.
Say hi, Bubba's. Look at that bright blonde hair.
Fading into the white wall.
Say hi, baby. Say hi. Can you say hi? Oh, don't hit yourself. Don't hit yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Huh? Hey, William. Hey, William. Who's that? Who's that? Where's Mickey? William, where's Mickey?
Right here.
Right here. It's just funny because Jordan's character is Mickey, so
Oh, that's true.
Right. That's why I was
named after that Mickey.
That's funny.
Okay, bye, Bubba's. Night. Love you. Okay. So yeah, I feel like she's like, I can't go back to Mickey. Like,
so here's the question:
empty-handed.
At what point do you get up? Because technically, your mech is in this bay. You added it to your character sheet. As they're walking away in their mechs, you could get in yours and shoot them.
Oh God, I don't know if she.
Yeah, I don't think she would, but I'm just making sure it's an option.
Yeah, and I have a +0 to force, so I don't. That probably would not go very well. I don't know. Yeah, I think she'd wait a while.
Yeah, and I think Grant probably had higher priorities. Like he's just gonna take these people in and try to get them. He's basically thinking he's cutting off Mickey from his followers, right? So I think they're dealing with that right now. So you have a moment to yourself.
Okay, so I don't know if I just like try again or if I should do something different this time. I don't even know if I can try again.
Yeah, I don't know if you can try the same thing again per se.
Right. Gotta let it fail forward.
You just try a different password. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like even before you had like scholars who were like helping you and stuff. So
Right. Now I'm just like by myself. I wonder if I could like
If you're a spy, you could also just, spy on somebody to see if you
Well,
can...
I'm wondering if I could get in my mech because like they don't necessarily know that it's me in the mech, right? Like how
you just
like
want to
how
walk past.
hidden are we in the mechs, right? Like can I like hide myself in this mech and like do some reconnaissance like in this area like as like a mech person? Like,
Yeah,
since
I mean,
y'all are just rocking around with it.
pretty much all the Starset Seekers have like the bulky hazmat suits that they could like connect into their mechs.
Uh-huh.
And so there's like 2 levels of separation from seeing someone's face normally, right?
Right.
So yeah, that makes sense to me. You could have it be, I mean, you could even like go get into a mech and try to sneak into the posse that's like walking away with all of your guys.
Yeah, like kind of.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay. I mean, that's a roll, and if it fails, it's gonna go badly. But, yeah, let's take a look here. Yeah, I think this is probably diffuse with, either sway or lore. Yeah, let's do sway. It's misdirection.
Oh, I suck at sway.
I will give you, trying to decide if I give you like advantage. I'll give you advantage. I'm gonna give you advantage on this. I think like you having a mech, and like the situation that's been set up for you is advantageous, even though you're bad at sway.
Okay. All right.
So go for it.
Feel a little better. Well, this is probably still going to go miserably.
Hey.
Okay, could be worse.
Yeah. So this is diffuse. The danger here is being spotted, right? Choose one of these. There's a cost to securing safety. The danger will soon return, or the danger is still present but threatening someone or something else.
Well, it's already doing that technically.
Yeah, I don't think that's an option
right.
here, probably.
Yeah. So what were the first two? Sorry, what were the first
So basically,
two
it's like, there's either a cost to you doing this, you have to pay some sort of cost, or it's a temporary solution and you're eventually going to get caught no matter what.
I wonder if my temporary cost is that I'm going to lose my own mech because like I'm going to have to steal a different one and like I'm not going to have like, and like they're going to like, yeah, well, because then that's not really a disadvantage because then I'm just getting a different one that I stole, I guess. But
yeah. Maybe the cost is you're in the mech, but you can't actually work any of the guns because it's not. It is a mech you stole, and it's not locked to your biosignature, and so you've managed to hack it so you can move it, but you can't fire any of the guns or move any of the weapons. Like if they do turn on you, you're helpless.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just start walking along, and let's cut back to Mickey. Mickey, how are you? What are you doing? Just chilling, waiting for this all to go down. Jordan.
Thinking.
Because I mean, this is like a high tech alien stuff that we've been using. Like you could get into contact with your people if you wanted to, or if there'd be some other preparations you'd be making.
Part of me just imagine Mickey this whole time just kind of like drinking a cup of coffee and just like relaxing and not doing.
Yeah, just letting everyone else do your work for you. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's honestly, I'm just like, I feel like
Perfectly-
that's what he would do.
Perfectly
Either
valid.
that, or he'd be like if he was actually doing work, he'd probably be like trying to find ways like that from where he is to like turn people against his enemies.
I mean, yeah, right now you're kind of like in the back of the facility, like hiding out.
Yeah.
So up to you if you want to break that.
Because he doesn't have his mech right now. Yeah, I feel like he would just kind of be sitting around doing nothing.
Perfectly valid. All right, so Alyssa, what's Kato's plan to find out something by tagging along?
Great question.
Like, you know, they're walking back to they're gonna meet basically with one of the demagogues, one of the leaders of the Starset Seekers now, and do some sort of interrogation trial thing with all of these people, right? Like, what were you doing? Why were you doing it for Mickey? Like, oh, you know, where is he? Are you gonna betray, or like, are you gonna renounce him and come back to us? That sort of stuff. At what point during that process does Kato try to interrupt or find something else? Something out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe her like maybe her tactic is like, you know, like almost like she's trying to like pretend, you know, she's like trying to like pretend like she's like part of like the interrogation, which I mean is part of the whole mech suit thing, but like she's like they were trying to hack into the computer, like what do you think that they found, kind of thing. And like, oh, I hope they didn't like, I don't know if they would just like spill secrets that way though. I don't know. Or maybe if there's like files around, like, you know, as like they're like interrogating, they must have like some files and stuff like that on.
I think maybe what Kato's trying to do here, right, is she's trying to play it like, yeah, they were trying to find something bad. Good thing there isn't anything bad that they could find, right? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Right.
Right. And hoping that someone would imply, oh, there actually is something, and we're glad they didn't find it, right? That sort of thing.
Yeah. That kind of a thing. Or just that, like, yeah, that, I don't know, maybe like there's some kind of like, because I'm assuming we're going to like some kind of not police station, not a police station, but like a place where like
some
like,
sort of security checkpoint or something. Yeah.
And there's got to be some like other information there that I could probably like try to like
you try to hack
into there.
Sure. Yeah. Just like being in the prison. Okay. Yeah. So I think we see, you know, Grant and his men and you kind of trailing behind, get to this like security checkpoint.
I don't know that these like interrogation people would necessarily know anything. Like they're just there to like enforce the law, not like.
That makes sense. But I think we start getting into like an interrogation. And I guess Grant, did you have any particular, like, what were you going to do with these people besides just arrest them? Is your goal to like have them give up something about Mickey, just renounce him?
Let them know essentially that if they don't, renounce Mickey, that they're gonna be like exiled permanently.
Sure. Okay.
Potentially killed.
How about you roll I think a force to like intimidate them?
I'm not great at this.
Yeah.
A partial succeed.
Nice. That's not bad. Let me let's see. Okay, yeah. Partial success. So I think the idea here is that you were diffuse is kind of like the catch-all for anything that's not included in any of these. So I think the idea was the danger was, I don't know, I guess what was your intent with that? Like you let them know that they're going to be exiled, but what do you want them to do?
Tell us what they're going for and give out where Mickey is, essentially.
Okay. Do you have what's your sway?
0.
Is it the same as force? Okay.
Yes.
I think you were rolling sway instead to do find common ground, probably.
Okay.
Right. So when you ask someone to work with you, so you got a hit, and on a 7 to 9, they'll do it if you meet their terms, and on a 7 to 9, I pick 2, and both must be met. So the 2 criteria they give you to work for them to work with you and like give up Mickey and whatnot is, you reduce the threat you pose to them, and you give them something now that's worth it. So reducing the threat you pose to them would be like, get out of your mechs and stop being such big threatening people and just like talk to them face to face, right? So we're probably seeing this like in a montage where Grant has to like he's intimidating them at first and they're not responding, and he like gets down and plays good cop for a second, right? He's like, listen, we just want to talk to you. Like we have your best interest in mind, and so you're not in your mech for if something happens next. If that's fine with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the give them something now that's worth it is probably like we all want promotions, right? Like give us promotions and set us up in your organization, and we'll turn on them. That would probably be something you would have to like clear with the demagogues who are in charge, though. So is that what we see? Do we see Grant like go off to like get that cleared?
What if he tells them like he's like, I'll have to talk with the demagogues about that? What would they say to that?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to like be like, we're gonna turn then we're not turning against Mickey. They would just be like, okay, sounds good. Like, we'll stay here. You figure that out, and as soon as you figure that out, we'll help you get Mickey.
He probably won't leave. Yeah. He'd probably send one of his scholars to go talk to the demagogues.
Sure.
Give them like a notarized message or something.
Sure. Yeah, and I think eventually they'll probably be okay with this, at least in the short term. Maybe they'll try to go back on it later. But I think this is just taking time, and that time is giving Kato time to try to hack into something, right? So we're waiting around in the hangar bay or the security checkpoint here, and then Kato, what do you try?
So I suppose like now I guess the window, right, is that like things are a little less guarded now because like he sent him on this errand. So I don't know, like, is there like a filing cabinet that I could like get into and like quickly like read through some like files of like, interrogations that have gone through of like
I think the Starset Seekers more than anyone have gone beyond filing cabinets and are very, they've gone whole hog into the alien technology stuff. So it's a lot of like more sci-fi looking whatnot. And so I think this is probably Kato having to like step over to the side with her mech and like surreptitiously connect the mech to the infrastructure or whatever, right? Like through some sort of plug-in or whatever they have to try to like literally
download a file.
Yeah, download something. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'm trying to download some kind of like
yeah, because I mean you're in like a secure location, you're in a security officer's mech, right? So you might have more access than you would otherwise. So I think what you're doing here is probably diffusing with lore. Okay. Wait, so what's your intent? You're trying to do what Mickey wanted you to do, right? Like it's get dirt on someone.
Yeah.
In which case, I mean, diffuse it probably makes the most sense. So again, danger being caught. The danger is being caught here. So roll plus lore. This is improvised technology, right?
Okay. Right. One thing I hate about this system is that +1 is not it's still so swingy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Standard, no modifiers. A 9. Nice.
All right, so there's a cost. It's a temporary solution, right? You're about to trigger the alarm, and as soon as you like disconnect or whatever is gonna happen, or the danger is still present but threatening someone or something else. Meaning probably the scholars who are right there are gonna get blamed for it if things go wrong.
Well, I guess that's the question, right? So like, if I choose that option, that means that like they know something's been hacked and now they're gonna blame them, kind of a thing. Is that what's gonna happen?
I think okay. It depends on how scummy Kato wants to get about it, but I could even see a point where she finds the information she needs, she downloads it to the mech or into her personal comm or whatever that she connected to the mech, right? Whatever device she might have to do that sort of thing with, and then an alarm trips, and she very quickly disconnects her mech from it, takes a couple steps away, and then says, "What did you guys do?" Like points down.
How dare you?
You're right, and just tries to like, because Grant isn't here. You could probably roll to get away with something like that.
Well, Grant didn't leave.
Yeah, Grant.
Or no, you're right. Grant is here. Yeah. So Grant would have to. You would have to convince Grant that that's what happened.
Well, but this is part of the consequence. So like this isn't like a separate role though, right? Like
no, but it says the danger is still present but threatening someone or something else. So yeah, I guess you would be able to immediately deflect to them, but Grant might figure it out if he makes sense.
That's fine. I'll be long gone before then. Okay.
Right. So do you literally like point to them yourself or just wait for them to be blamed?
I feel like she'd wait for them to be blamed. Like, I don't think she'd be like, "Oh my gosh, like how dare you?" Like,
yeah.
Or maybe maybe what she'd do is like she'd like whisper to like one of the other guys, not Grant, but be like, somebody's taken some information. Like it's, there's something something's not right here, and then duck out. Like I'm gonna go figure out what's going on, and then like duck out of here.
Sure. Yeah. So what would Grant do if that's how this went down? Right, like suddenly another alarm goes off. The system recognize, like you get some notification that like something's been hacked, and then one of your officers says, "Oh yeah, another officer like went to go check it out, and I think it's them." Whatever.
Yeah, Grant would say full lockdown.
Yeah, full lockdown. Sure. Yeah. How about you? So in this case, full lockdown meaning you might be able to block Kato from escaping, whether or not you know that that's what's happening. Yeah. Okay. How about
but I succeeded on my roll. But I succeeded to get it. I guess that's
you succeeded to get the information, right? And then the danger was you finding out that you were the one who got the information. But if that's the Grant's response, then you're also at risk here, right?
Oof.
So let's have you do. This is probably still you, Kato, rolling, right? You're trying to just. Okay. So here's the question. You notice the lockdown is starting to go into effect. You need to get to Mickey to give him this information. Like you don't have Wi-Fi access anymore, so you can't like send it to him remotely. So how would what path not path
well, is it more like Seth? Is it more like Seth is rolling to see if he can do the lockdown quick enough because like I told somebody else about it first to like get a head start?
No, I think this is Kato's thing because the question I was going to ask is what method, if you noticed the lockdown was going into effect, how would Kato still get to Mickey, right? Would she try to be quick with the mech? Was she like pushing into overdrive? Would she try to hack the door that just closed in front of her? Like what? Because I mean, all that Grant has to do is push a button, right? And now there's danger threatening you, which you have to overcome.
Yeah, but I guess my argument to that, though, was that the whole point of me telling another person was so that way I could get a head start at, like, running head start.
Okay, I'll give you
and,
advantage
like,
on this roll.
Right? Like,
I'll give you advantage.
So that way I wasn't telling the direct person. They weren't like, well, how do you know this? Like, you know.
I think there's still a chance, though. You can take advantage on it, but there's still a chance you get caught.
I think my best bet is to kick the mech into overdrive because I don't want to, like, hack the door because then they can, like, track that.
I think this is still lore though, because like the mech is doing the work for you. You're not having to be quick yourself.
That's fine.
Okay. So you can do lore.
Okay. All right. Lore Advantage. Oh wait. Sorry. Okay. More advantage. Oh yeah.
Nice. There you go, 12. Yeah, so Kato, we see this moment, you're like, come on, and then the mech like gets like nicked by this like closing door, but manages to go through. And then yeah, Mickey, we see you with like the flash drive in your hand, right? And
you're welcome, Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. And like Kato has just like betrayed so many people to get to this moment.
I really hope that Mickey dies and that what is your character's name?
Kato.
I was about to say Kanan. I'm like, no, that's not right. Kato.
Dead.
Oh yeah. I just hope that like Kato becomes like the real like new leader of this whole thing.
I don't know. Kato seems like, I mean, the problem is that Kato is just a pushover, right? And she like will do anything to like save her own neck, basically, is what I've decided.
Right, but I think like she just grows and develops and becomes the good right person.
So far, she's not really showing it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, so Jordan, I think it's you rolling your move now, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Grant put everything on lockdown, but didn't manage to catch Kato in it, and Kato got back to Mickey with the information. So I think Jordan makes his move here, and we see how it goes. So Mickey, you have Iconoclast. When you find a dark secret of an authority figure and reveal it to the world, roll plus sway. And this will be what happens when you do that.
So this is him actually revealing it to the world.
Yeah.
And so in this great grand revelation, standard.
Yeah, I think so.
No modifiers?
I don't think so. Nice. That's a 10.
Well, shoot.
All right, on a 10 plus, you can choose 2. Their allies stop providing them support. Their followers plot revolution, and or their enemies offer you aid.
I think the first 2. Allies stop providing them support, and their followers plot revolution. Because I think that's a lot of what was already sown.
Yeah. I think what ends up happening then is the guild ends up backing you, right? The Guild of Last Days Profiteers, who they're teetering whether or not to back you or the demagogues. They back you, and their followers plot revolution. Like, even though like you got a bunch of these people arrested and Kato, like Kato totally sold them out, they didn't really realize that was what was happening, right? And a bunch more, maybe not those particular people, but a bunch more of the mooks and the random scientists are on board with this. And like, you, up to you, Jordan. Do you want to tell us what this dark secret of the authority figure was, or do we just like get it kind of subtly insinuated or hinted at?
See, like, I was kind of hoping it would fail and it would turn out the secret was something really stupid or mundane. Like,
yeah,
so-and-so likes to shower in their underwear. I don't know. Something dumb that's just like, who cares? But
I mean, hey, Mickey, you're a master of making innocent details like that seem like terrible things, right?
Like the secret was that there's a surprise party planned.
And one of the demagogues wasn't invited.
Hey, I mean, that's basically the plot line of Sleeping Beauty, so.
That's true. That's very true.
Not that. I think the secret was probably that there's more of this alien tech available to the general populace. That could be available to the, like, there's so much tech that has been collected that it's just been all hoarded by the demagogues, and with false promises of like, we'll get, we're gonna make sure that everybody gets their fair share of the tech and they're gonna benefit all of society, when in reality they've just been hoarding it all for themselves.
Nice.
And now he has the proof of it. And there was never any plans to share it.
Cool.
Which he probably knew about already, but he didn't have the proof. Because he was one of those people that was planning on doing that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's my guess. That's my thought.
I like it. So here's the question. Do we follow this through and just have Mickey make the roll to incite the revolution and make it happen? Or do we, like, is that the end of this for now? And then we it's stewing in the background. I think my preference would be we go for it, because then Jordan's actually in charge of his own family and can do stuff with them. Right?
Yeah, sure, we can go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because either he succeeds or he fails, and either way, probably we move on to a different situation than just more revolution. All right, cool. Let's figure out what that would be. Well, I mean, based on what you just said, I think the idea here is you get hold of that tech and you win, right? If you disseminate the tech to your followers, then they have more tech than everybody else, right? So how about we... maybe it's I don't know, up to you. How would Mickey go about this? Is he training more people to go and steal this technology? Is Mickey doing something by him, like actually himself here? I think the next step is getting that tech and like disseminating it, right?
I think he's probably because he's like spent a few days creating the secret army, right?
Yeah. You already lost him.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like another thing we could do is just like have Mickey lead the revolution and we roll fiercely assault and just attack people, right? It's like a battle happens.
I feel like that it's either that or another round of the Words of Revolution or Secret Army.
Yeah, because I mean, one thought would be you do Secret Army again, and get some people who can go steal the tech and disseminate it, and then they roll to see if they can do it, and then from there we, the revolution is underway.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Sure.
Now that Mickey's got more people who are.
Mm-hmm. How about people who are good at sabotage then this time?
Yeah.
Because it's it's like getting into this place where the tech is and being able to steal it. All right, yeah, I think what Kato and like you got a bunch of people arrested for you, so you have some time now, right? Mickey's gonna have to like retreat for a little while and come back, but I think the people you threw under the bus gave you that. And so let's go ahead and roll for the saboteurs and see what they do. See how they do. 2d6 plus 1 for their quality. There you go. Partial success. Yeah, I think this is really like diffuse, like the standard move. So in which case, you tell me, Jordan, is there a cost to securing these items? Will danger soon return? Like, will people catch them? Is this a temporary solution, or is the danger still present with threatening someone or something else?
I think the cost is like almost like a civil war kind of thing, like rioting and.
Right. So things escalate far quicker than anticipated. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I think that happens, and I think maybe what we do now is we roll the family move. Hold together. When your family must resist hardship, temptation, or infighting.
Yep.
And things might break if they fail that, right? Let's roll plus mood then. So if you go to your Starset Seekers page, Jordan, you should be able to roll this. Your mood is -1 right now. Actually, I think you just got a surplus, which is I'll just go ahead and give you warp metal. Like you got access to the tech that they gathered last time, which means your mood is 0 now.
Okay.
So mood is near in tech data and resources. If you want to roll that.
Yeah. So remind me, I have data to be able to use for different things, right?
Yes. Data can be spent on the character level to give advantage. Tech can be spent on the family level to give advantage. But I'll give you. I think you'll probably have 1 tech as well, right? Like we already knew that warp metal was a specific resource that they had. And 1 tech makes sense if you want to give advantage to this roll, because of like disseminating the technology and stuff.
Yeah. I'll use that tech now.
Cool.
Because as much as I want Mickey to die and to do,
you want your family to be well off. Yeah.
I want the family to be well off. And it makes sense.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So go ahead and roll mood with advantage.
Advantage. No moddies.
9. Not bad. All right. So on the... Oop, that's not right. Family moves. On a 7 to 9, you mostly remain okay. Pick 1. So do you lose people to harm and or desertion? Does another family or faction come through to help you? Is the danger not past so much as shifted into something more manageable? I could see that last one being they don't actually a civil war doesn't break out, but now you have to make a peaceful transition of power and make a roll to do that.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool. Yeah, so I think the last thing would be like Mickey probably making a roll to like find common ground, right? Just convince the masses, right?
Yeah. So now I'll spend that data.
Yeah. Yep.
You
can get advantage on sway.
And Mickey's whole thing is basically like, look, I'm just like you! And he points to the scars and stuff that he has from the fight that he was in with his mech.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm rolling sway?
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. I went to the Starset Seekers again. There he is.
I'm just like you. I'm a victim of this whole thing.
Yeah.
As he constantly gets people arrested for him. Nice. I knew this was gonna happen as soon as Jordan made this character and was like, "Yeah, I want him to die." I was like, "No, he's gonna rule everything."
So this is Yi 2.0.
This is Yi 2.0. Yeah.
No, this is my Yi.
This is Jordan's Yi. All right, so find common ground. Maya, Maya, oh, Maya, Maya. Okay, so find common ground with the 10+. You pick 1, or I pick 1. Sorry. So they'll do it. They'll go along with you if they have 1 criteria, which is. So your intent here is you're asking someone to work with you and put you as leader, right? Like you're in charge now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Okay, here are the options. I'm gonna read them off. You guys tell me what we think makes the most sense. A third party vouches for you. They can change specific parts of the task. They can back out as soon as it costs them. You reduce the threat you pose to them. You give them something now that's worth it. You reveal your full agenda here, or their faction/family gets 1 treaty on you. That last one doesn't make sense because it's within the family, but. The one that immediately comes to mind is they can back out as soon as it costs them. Like, this is a very fleeting leadership that Mickey has that might fall apart depending on how things go. Like, if things get really bad really quickly, then it's going to fall apart again. As long as things stay stable for a little while, then Mickey will stay in charge. That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Cool. All right. Well, I think Mickey has marked a new role, which is leader. And it says, mark when your family rises up against an oppressor. Say where your forces are waiting in ambush. So because you marked this because of like things that happened in the game to make you a leader, I think that's the next thing that's in store for Mickey, is this thing, is your family rises up against an oppressor and you say where your forces are waiting in ambush. We'll have to figure out what that is, but we can probably leave it there for now. Cool. All right. And then Mickey, you can add 1 to a stat and or add a new move because you've got a new roll. So you can take a look at that. But then we're zooming out. So let's do the zoom out thing. Cinnamon, what did you do during this period? Did you find a new place in your family? Did you scavenge in the wasteland? Did you scout for information? Did you help out another family or faction? Or did you discover a new danger?
I feel like she's scouting for information to like truly like find a link between like these like deformed people and the spirits, like to see like what link there is. Because clearly, like you said, like the trail that she followed led her there. So there must be some kind of connection, but it's there's nothing concrete yet. So she's trying to find something concrete so that way her people are more willing to like accept these people and willing to like help.
Sure. So the mechanical part of that says describe a lead that might give you a new surplus or remove a need and get 1 data. So I think this one might be, don't you have a need for like morale or something?
I think so. Let me check.
You have a need for... No, you have a surplus of morale. I don't know how that happened. Weird.
Yeah, well, it's just, I think I had, like, that's how it, I don't know how that happened, but like there is still cracks in the family though.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like more like
we forgot to write something in here. Didn't you get the need for recruits?
I thought I got rid of that need.
Maybe you did. Yeah, no, you did because some of the mole people or some of the ones below were coming in to help.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah, I think this is accurate then. Okay, so is this lead on a surplus or a need, like something you can get rid of one of your needs?
I think for this to make sense, it's got to be morale, right? I've got to get some people like.
Well, you have a surplus on morale already, right? So
right.
this would have to be like a surplus of, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what makes sense for these. Woo. You find the list of surpluses.
Because I just don't know that getting rid of a need of safety or fresh water really makes sense.
No, I don't think it makes sense. Yeah.
Unless there's some kind of like underwater well that they have, you know, that the spirits blessed. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I like that. Yeah, because it's like before there was some sort of, it's still a mystery, right? We don't know why this connection exists, but yeah, like there is, once you got made them allies, once the ones below became allies and they were kicking out the mold warps and doing what they could to like change their ways. One of the things they reveal to you as during this time period that you were working with them, right, is that there's this like ancient spirit well in the dark caverns, like this underwater lake that like long ago they have stories about going there and like communing with the spirits, but we haven't gone there for years because the mold warps like took over everything about us. So you're like maybe these are humans who like worshipped the badger spirits or something at one point, like,
right?
And then the mold warps, like maybe because they were so similar, the mold warps like they were like,
well, they probably killed them off, and
yeah, you know. Not only did the mold warps probably kill off whatever mole spirits were here, but they seemed like more monstrous, powerful versions of those mole spirits, and maybe there was some sort of religious shift that happened where they're like, oh, these are the mole spirits, and they've just transformed into these things. And it was like a much more like natural thing for them to go towards the mold warps, not realizing what it was going to do to their like society. I mean, yeah, a lot got lost in the apocalypse, so it's anything is possible.
Cool. So I get rid of the need of.
No, you don't get rid of it. You have a lead on it.
I have a lead on it. Okay,
so
got it.
when we
because it's going to take time to be able to move that over.
Yeah, you're going to have to figure out a way to secure it for your family.
Right. Okay.
We have a lead on it.
Okay.
Cool.
And then I get +1 data. Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Got it.
Cool. And then the other question would be, what does Darren do during this time? Well,
What's happening? Sorry.
No, that's fine. This is just be like, what was Darren doing during this period? Since he, as a main character, he wasn't present for this. He gets to like do something mechanically, during this period. And the choices are, find a new place in your family, you go scavenging in the wasteland, scout for information, help another family or faction, or discover a new danger.
Probably, given what we are, discover a new danger.
Sure, yeah. Describe it and say which other family or faction it's threatening. I mean, that seems pretty obvious, right? We can just add the mold warps that are like threatening the ones below on the map here, right? Yeah. How would I'm just gonna like ping this over here, right? So we have this marker right here, a rapidly expanding alien ecosystem. That's the danger that is threatening the mold warps. That you'll have to figure out. But we know that that's what Darren's been doing. Cool. Well, do we want to just call it there since Seth's not feeling the best? That okay,
sorry,
everybody?
Guys.
No, totally fine.
No, I think
I can tell you're in pain. I don't want to like.
I
drag this out.
I've been. Yeah. I won't get into it in stream.
No, totally fine. But I mean, we got a whole arc done here, and we did a whole thing with Mickey's stuff. If we jumped into anything else, it would be a longer thing anyway. So
yeah.
I think it makes sense to call it there for tonight. Cool. All right, well, we'll go ahead and call Legacy there for now. And next week, I'm very excited because we're going to do Seth and Jordan, and we got Jason from the Discord on, and we're going to do, and I would told you this, Alyssa, but we're going to do reverse D&D. They're going to play monsters defending a dungeon from adventurers for spooky season.
Oh my god, that's amazing!
It's gonna be great.
Oh man, I'm so jealous. Except that'll be
excited.
in Disneyland, so I'm not that jealous.
Rub it in, why don't you? Actually,
I would rather play role playing games than go to Disneyland, so I'm not jealous.
I mean, for
cool.
me, it depends. I just would rather hang out with any of you guys
Sure.
than not.
So if it was going to be M and Alyssa at Disneyland, or me and Seth doing RPG, that's a pretty like even. Like who knows which one you choose?
Clearly, I would go to Disneyland with them and then do RPGs with you guys at Disneyland.
That doesn't make any sense, Jordan.
It makes plenty of sense.
Don't even know
Those
how you
waiting
would do
lines
that.
are so long.
Oh no, it's not that bad. With fast passes, we'll be fine.
Fast pass and fast cash. No, fat cash. Fast pass and fat cash.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do next week. And then after that, I think probably nothing's gonna happen. We'll see when my baby arrives. We'll see what happens. But tomorrow we're doing Death on the Madness, which I'm excited about. Gonna wrap up that. And then Saturday we're doing Chrome Inquisitors. So many more RPGs to come before we have to wrap up for November. But for now, we'll go ahead and call it there. Thanks for playing, guys. We're out. Adios.